during today's video, we're going to be graphing inequalities. All right. Remember that inequality is basically a way for you to compare different expressions. And we're going to be using symbols such as greater than, less than, greater than or equal, or less than or equal. So let's take a look at this example. It says x is greater than 3. So it will be x is greater than 3. Okay? So in order for you to graph this inequality, you need to draw a number line. I hope that you can draw a better number line than the one that I'm doing. So I have 0 here, positive 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3. So I need to circle, okay, the number that they're telling me. So they're telling me 3, okay, 3. So I'm telling you that x is greater than 3. What are the numbers greater than 3? We're actually 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those numbers are greater than 3. So I'm going to draw an arrow. You can use a different color pencil if you want to. Draw an arrow pointing towards this direction, okay? Because this shows that any of these values can be greater than 3, okay? Let's take a look at this one. X is less than 3. X is less than 3, okay? Draw your number line. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Please make sure that you leave the same distance between each one of the numbers. I am just doing it like this because of the tool that I'm using to record this video. So I'm going to circle the number 3. Okay? Now I'm going to think, what are the numbers less than 3? Well, numbers less than 3 are 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, and so on. So I'm going to draw my arrow with a different color, pointing towards this direction, okay? Because any value that is either 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, they are actually less than 3. So they do meet the criteria. So you see? You can draw the arrow pointing towards this direction, okay? In this case, as you can see, we use open circles, okay? So whenever we have, let me write it down here for you, open circles, okay? So whenever we have this sign or this sign, we draw open circles in your number line, okay? So let's take a look at this one. X is greater than or equal, which means that I need to put the little line on the bottom, equal to 3. So now I need to draw my number line. It will be 1, 2, 3, and then negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3, okay? So in this case, as I need to include the number 3, I will draw a closed circle. You see, I am filling this circle out. This one has no fill, okay? It's open. So now I'm going to draw a closed circle because the number 3 is part of the solution, okay? So now I need to think about which are the numbers that are greater than or equal to 3. Well, actually, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So my arrow will be pointing towards this direction, okay? So please make sure to draw the arrow pointing towards this direction because those are the values that are actually greater than or equals to 3. In this case, I have x is less than or equal to 3. Draw your number line. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and so on. So now, remember, number 3, I need to include the number 3. So I'm going to fill the circle, okay? Now I need to think about which are the values that are less than or equal to 3. Actually, +2, +1, 0, -1, they are less than 3. So I need to draw my arrow with a different color, pointing towards this direction, okay? Because those are all the values that meet that criteria. Now I would like you to read this sentence. It says, a fish is more than -3 meters below sea level. You need to write and graph an inequality that represents the location of the fish, okay? So first I'm going to draw, write number 0, 1, 2, and so on, -1, -2, -3, -4, and you get the idea. So the equation will be a fish is more than, okay? So I'm going to write F for fish, and it's saying that the fish is more than, which means greater than, okay? -3. So in this case, I am going to draw an open circle because this is not equal to, so I am not going to include -3 as part of the solution. So it will be an open circle, and now I need to think about which are the numbers greater than -3. Well, actually, -2, -1, 0, 1, all these numbers are values that are greater than -3. So you need to draw your arrow pointing towards this direction because those values are greater than -3. So that's how you should graph this inequality. How about this one? Please pause the video and try to graph this inequality by yourself. Very good. So let me write here the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. -1, -2, -3, and you get the idea. So now in this case, remember that when I have either this symbol or this symbol, I need to use a closed circle because I need to include that number as part of the solution because it says that x is greater than or equal to 5. So it could be 5 too. So I need to include that. And what are the numbers that are greater than or equal to 5? Actually, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So I'm going to draw my arrow pointing towards this direction. And now it is true. These values are greater than or equal, that's why I included the 5, to 5. How about this inequality? Please pause the video and try to do it by yourself. All right, so I'll put 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on under my number line. And now it says, the inequality, it says, x is less than. You see that it's pointing to the x? So x is less than 4 5/10. Remember, when you have only these symbols without a line on the bottom, that means that that number is not part of the solution. So it is an open circle. You do not have to fill the circle in, okay? So, first of all, where is 4 5/10? Yes, it is in between 4 and 5, okay? So I am going to do, let me write it down very tiny here for you, 4 5/10. So I'm going to make a circle, an open circle, and now I need to think, which are the numbers that are less than? Less than 4 5/10. Actually, 3 5/10, 3, 4, all these numbers are less than 4 5/10. So the arrow that I'm going to draw here with a different color, it will be pointing towards this direction. I suggest that you do it with a ruler or that you follow your square notebook, your grid notebook if you have one, and that's it. So you can have a straight line, not a crazy line like mine. There you go. So now I have x is less than, all these values are less than 4 and 5/10. How about a fraction? Let's see. Let me write down the numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. -2, -3, -4, and -5. So I would like you to pause the video and try to do this one by yourself. Come back and let's see if you understood. Very good. So before I actually graph these, I need to remember that as this is greater than or equal, I need to draw a close circle. So I need to fill the circle in, okay? So I need to find out 3 wholes and a half. Actually, this is 3 whole and a half is right in the middle. It's midway, okay? So it is 3 whole and a half. So I need to make a closed circle here because I am including it, okay? So it says x is greater than or equals to 3.5. So which are the values that actually meet this criteria? Well, +4, 4.5, +5, and so on. So you need to draw the arrow pointing to all the values that are actually greater than or equals to 3.5.